Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Last time I did a review on Maîtresse and I, so I just explained about how the series has developed until episode 42. So last week episode 43 and 44 came out, so I've actually decided to do a little review on episode 43. And what I'll do is just show you guys a couple of scenes and then talk about it and give you my opinion. I might also talk about what I think might happen. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is Jalika meeting Rokhaya, which is Maki's best friend. So in one of the previous episodes, Maki's mom told Maki that she thinks that Rokhaya actually is in love with Maki. And Maki did not want to listen to this, but when I saw how she was with Jalika, I was like, oh my god, she's definitely in love with him. So let's just talk about the first scene. So she was, first of all, she did not greet Jalika like with open arms, because she just gave a hand and was like stiff and all. And then later she was really rude, I think, when she was actually saying that when Jalika was saying that she is looking for a crush for her son actually, and Rokhaya was like, oh, why? Is there already a baby on its way? And she was like awkward, and then Jalika responded like, oh no, I already have children. I actually have 2 children. And she was like, ooh. And then she said something rude about how could you use them children, or how do you love them already? And I was like, you can't say that. And all that Maki said was like, oh, Rokhaya. And I was like, just be a man and just put her at her place, because that's really rude, especially for Jalika. And another thing was like, she was like emphasizing that her opinion actually matters. And then Jalika was like, we'll see about that, because we all know that Jalika has become this liberated woman that will not back down for anyone. So Rokhaya, you can better be watching your back and your front, because you cannot mess with Jalika no more. So another scene that I was really proud of was the scene where Jalika was actually trying to get Amina to get a bath and undo her clothes, you know. And Amina was really reluctant to have her mom take off her clothes. So Jalika was already, you know, smelling something fishy. And she was like, okay, what is it that you don't want to show me? Let me see, you know. And it was really, I think it was really something that African moms should actually behave like, because I think that most of the time it's like you don't know what happened to your child. So for example, let's say that Amina was, for example, raped, and if Jalika would not, you know, get on these clues that Amina would give her, that, you know, it's not okay to touch my body or anything, but she would, for example, instead of being as sweet and soft as she was, if she would have just said like, Amina, if you don't take off your clothes, I'm gonna slap you, maybe that is also, you know, adding to the trauma that she already has. Because the matter of the fact is that Jalika does not know what happened, and you know, I'm glad that it was not that bad, but still it was really bad. So I was really proud of Jalika and how she handled that. So the next scene I want to talk about is the scene where Biram is confronted by Jalika about what happened to Amina. And what Jalika is actually saying is that, okay, your mom has already watched Amina a lot of times, and this has never happened when she was watching her. And she's just like making a reference to that there's something new in his life, which is his new wife Jor, and that since she has been there, that Amina has been beaten, and of course Biram was in denial because he does not want to see the truth, and he even had an excuse that yeah, it must have happened at school, and no, Jor is not a child beater, I don't see her as such. But it's just so biased, because of course he's not gonna see that, because he's gonna think that Jalika actually has already something against Jor, and so to accuse her is just adding up to her pettiness, but she's not even petty. So the next scene I want to talk about is the scene where Raki's mom is actually visiting Mustafa because she's looking for Raki, because Raki left the house really mad because her mom didn't want to tell her the truth about who her real dad is and everything. And what I was really, you know, concerned about in this scene was how Raki's mom talked about Raki and actually Mustafa, and she was already accusing them of, you know, being guilty of something. And this while Mustafa was actually really, you know, such a gentleman and someone that was really well raised, so to say, because he was actually telling her, yeah, well, you're not lying, Raki's actually here. And she was like, yeah, and why didn't you tell her to come home? And because that's not really something you do, you know, let a girl stay over at a guy's house. It's not something you actually do in Senegal, but you know, but Mustafa's intentions were not to sleep with her or anything, but he was also explaining to her, like, you know, Raki, she's someone you cannot force her to do something that she doesn't want to do. And I think that when Mustafa said that, she was actually maybe ashamed, or because it was like he already knows Raki so well, and he's not even, you know, her mom or her dad, so to say that maybe Raki's mom doesn't really know her that well. But also the fact that he added to that he rather wants Raki to be at his house than being God knows where. And I think that's really, really nice of him. And that the mom of Raki's mom should just, you know, go home already, or face the truth and tell us the truth, because I really want to know, like, what is her story with Jalika's father. I actually think that Raki and Jalika might even be half-sisters. But, you know, let's go to the next scene. Okay, so the last scene I want to talk about is the cliffhanger, where you see Jalika actually going to Biram and Jor's house. And, oh my God. All we can do now is just press play on the next episode. So 44 is coming up because I cannot wait. Thank you guys for watching. What are your thoughts on Maitresse? Have you watched Maitresse? Is there a reason why you don't watch Maitresse? Let me also know what you thought about this review, about episode 43, and maybe you can talk about the scenes that I've chosen for this episode, because I thought the scenes were really thought-provoking for myself. And it's just the start, so if you have any feedback, let me know. If you don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys in my next video.